Here are my top 5 Tailwind CSS tips. If you have a box with a height and width, instead of doing this, you can replace both of these with size, and it does the exact same thing. Second tip is for group and peer. Let's say I want this text to increase in size when I hover over this red thing right here. So if we said hover scale 125, this is only going to work if I hover directly over the text. Instead, what you want to do is put group right here, and then instead of hover, you put group dash hover. Now it increases in size when you hover over the container. Let's say we want it to increase in size when we hover over one of its siblings. Right here we put peer, and then instead of group hover, we put peer hover. Now when we hover over other text, the text increases in size. Third tip is how to use gradients. It's very easy in Tailwind CSS. So we come up here, we want this background, instead of being solid blue, we want it to be gradient. So we just say BG gradient to, we'll go right. Now we go from, and then you put your color, and then to, and then your other color. And now you got your gradient. You can also use a third color if you want, and you use via for that. There's also this really cool website called hypercolor.dev where you can look at all these gradients. When you see one you like, you just click that. You come over back to your code and you just paste it in. Boom. There's also this cool feature in here called mesh, where you can randomly generate some gradients like this. And when you find one you like, you can customize it a little bit. You can change these colors, move this around and whatnot. And then when you're done, you click this button. You then come back to your project, you go into globals, and then right here in the body, you replace whatever the current background is with this. Now, I want to come in here and remove the background I already had. You get this custom gradient that you just made. Next tip is custom colors. You're going to want to come into your Tailwind config file. Here in extend, you're going to do colors. Now you can name any color you want. We'll say primary. And then when we pick which one, what I would recommend doing is typing in Tailwind colors, going to the Tailwind website, and then select any of these that you think is cool. So right here, we'll get orange 500. Copy that and put that in right here. Now we can use this anywhere in our project. Instead of this being red, we'll say primary. Boom. This allows you to easily change the theme of your entire website. If you use primary everywhere instead of orange 500, then you just go into your Tailwind config file and replace it there one time instead of replacing the orange 500 everywhere. The last tip is to set up auto sort of your Tailwind CSS classes. So right here, you see all these classes, they're just in whatever order I place them in. That's not what we want. I personally want them to always be in the same order. That way it's easier to look through them and understand what's going on. So the first step is to install these two dependency packages. We got Prettier and Prettier plugin Tailwind CSS. Once you add those, you're going to want to add a Prettier RC file. And inside of that file, you're going to put this code right here. Now when we come back into this file and we save, it's going to automatically sort this stuff. And if that didn't work for you, you're going to have to do this. You're going to go to your command palette with Command-Shift-P, Control-Shift-P on Windows. Type in settings, go to your settings JSON, search for editor format on save, or add it if it's not already there, and set this to true. Now every time you save, it's going to automatically do that.